Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is Zillafan85, back today with my latest video, my latest figure review. Today, a nice treat here. We're going to go ahead and take a look at my Sci-Fi Revoltech Anguirus figure. As many of you know who do follow along with my videos, I absolutely love these Revoltech figures. I thought they were really awesome. They have fantastic sculpts and paint and really very movie accurate designs, and a lot of articulation. They're to me they're just really awesome. I have a bunch in my collection, and I would probably say pound for pound, Anguirus might be my favorite of all the Revoltech figures, and that's a tall task because, like I said, I love them all, but I really love Anguirus. I love the way that he sizes and scales in with like your 6 to 7 inch Bandai figures, etc., etc. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to jump into all that. Now, obviously, this is the Showa incarnation of Anguirus. This is more so his 60s/70s era design that specifically started, with 1968's Destroy All Monsters, and so that's why they kind of denoted it as that particular incarnation, which is probably pound for pound my favorite. Well, close to right up there with my favorite design of Anguirus. I do love the original 1955 Anguirus as well, though, so it's kind of a toss-up, I would say. But nonetheless, though, folks, let's go ahead. Let's jump into this figure review here. What I'm going to start with, actually, before we get to the figure itself, I want to take a quick look at the box that it comes in. For most of my Revoltech figures, I do have the boxes still. I've only Rodan is the only one that I was missing the box, because I got that as a loose figure with, just most of the accessories anyway. But for him, though, here, I do have him in box. I got him brand new when I ordered him. And it's a really cool box, standard Sci-Fi Revoltech box, as you guys can see here. The nice nice little money shot of Anguirus on the cover. Sci-Fi Revoltech series number 21, sculpted by Takuma Katsuo. And of course, produced by Kyoto, who did, produce all these Revoltech figures. And of course, you see more of the Sci-Fi Revoltech logoing there. And this cool little strip at the bottom that all these Revoltech figures have. And obviously, that picture of Anguirus there. The side of the box there. I'm doing the best I can because I'm holding the camera while I'm doing this. So let me do sideways. See another picture of Anguirus. Some more information there. And you got the top of the box. And Sci-Fi Revoltech Series 21. So more of that same there. And let's see here, the back of the box. With Anguirus and some poses, different poses that you can do, along with his accessories and what have you. And again, that strip that runs, because it's a separate, like, floating piece paper strip that they have glued to the bottom of the box there. And then, speaking of the bottom, very bottom there, about the Revoltech joints, which, in the other reviews that I've done on my Revoltech figures, kind of explaining how those work. They're essentially ratcheted joints, but they're specifically, for Revoltech, they're specifically called the Revoltech joints. So, and of course, as many people noted, they are very proud of them. So here you go, nice window box packaging. Some Japanese right up inside. Unfortunately, I can't read that. But then some really cool photos there. Again, they specifically denote this because this was the first appearance of this Anguirus, 1968's Destroy All Monsters. So you got some pictures there, including that shot that I absolutely love from the battle scene at Mount Fuji there. And of course, Anguirus fighting King Ghidorah. The key locks, shot of Anguirus here. The Moonlight SY3 with Rodan and the military, etc., etc. Very cool stuff. And then, of course, here the window packaging where Anguirus and the accessories would normally slot into. Again, Sci-Fi Revoltech, powered by Revoltech there, Series 21. Very cool stuff, folks. So let me go ahead and set the camera down here. And also in the packaging itself, I'll just kind of go over this as well before I actually jump to the figure. So you got these pamphlets that come in these. Now, if you get them brand new, you usually get them. If you get them used, it's going to be hit or miss. But just a cool little thing, a little rundown of some of Revoltech's other figures that they feature in their line. As you can see, kind of like other lines like NECA and whatnot, they do a lot of different things, horror, sci-fi figures, etc., etc. So you guys can just take a quick little look-see. And of course, just some more stuff on the back there. Again, just so you guys can just kind of see a little bit there. They've been in the business a long time, so you know, these Revoltech figures are not new. These are older figures. They predate, you know, the kaiju ones, at least anyways, predate the SH Monster Arts line. So definitely something to note there. And then, of course, just another pamphlet with more figures that they feature in their lineup. So just so that I can show you guys that. Set that down, and now let's go ahead and take a look at the man of the hour himself here, Anguirus. Definitely one of my favorite kaiju of all time. Easily top 5 for me. I absolutely adore Anguirus. As again, any of you that follow along with my videos know, and I am definitely a huge Anguirus fanboy. So, taking a look at the paint and the detail first here. So you got sort of this main, like this brownish gray color scheme that he's got for his skin tone. You got all the scales and the wrinkles just really, really captured so well. You got all the bumps on the top of his head, and got his, of course, like his crest-like horns on the top of his head as well, done in this sort of off tannish color, essentially, this dirty tan color. The same for the horn on the front of his snout there. Of course, his nostrils there. Hopefully the camera somewhat pick it up. Trying the best I can for you guys. Of course, you got the teeth done in a sort of off-white bone color. You guys can see very nice and sharp to the touch. Pretty hard plastic there. All individually sculpted as well. You guys can see that. And of course, the inside of the mouth, you got that sort of deep red for the roof of the mouth and the tongue. Tongue sculpted very well, and almost like a little bit of a wet, glossy look to it, just to make it look, just to make it stand out a little bit more, as you guys can kind of see there. You got the eyes, you got the white eyes and the black pupils, very signature of Anguirus's design from this era here. So again, hopefully the camera will pick it up. It's a little bit better on that side, as you guys can see. And of course, the got the carapace on his back, which the carapace itself is done more in that brownish gray color. But then, of course, you got the that sort of dirty tan color for all the spikes on the top of his carapace there. It's a little dusty, but I do apologize. I do the best I can to keep my figures dusted. It's not always easy, though, folks. These are sort of a little bit pliable here, so they're not like super hard plastic. There you have actually a little bit of give, so you can kind of run your fingers over them. You can even, you know, kind of move them around too, because like I said, they're these are not like super hard. They're softer plastic, so kind of cool there for sure. And again, like all the scaling on his legs, his front legs and his hind legs there. Some of that muscular definition in the legs. And of course, again, that sort of off tannish color for the claws on both front and the back feet there. You guys can see nice detail work on the feet as well. Of Of course, you got the underside with all the wrinkles and the lines, more of the scales running down his chest and his abdomen area, all the way as it carries all the way down into the tail. All the scales and the segments, the grooves running along the tail there. And of course, again, the off tannish color for the spikes on the top of the tail. And they're done. They're not like in a uniform pattern, so it's almost to give it more of like a natural kind of feel, the way that they that the spikes are done on the tail. Which again, that is a movie accurate thing, and that's a really nice attention to detail there. You even got some armor plating on the outside of the tail, up to about this point there, where it goes from the body. It starts out right down there, and that looks really, really cool. I really like that. And even got some spikes on the back part of the tail too. You can actually learn a lot about Anguirus's design just by this figure alone, I think, because that's cool. That's a lot of times you would kind of miss that unless you really, really are familiar. So very, very awesome. I love that. And again, all the scales and whatnot on the tail. Oh, such an awesome figure, in my opinion. I know I'm gushing over this, but I absolutely love this figure so much. Definitely among the higher up favorite figures in my collection, period. So again, I really love it. So that pretty much covers it for the paint and the detail. Let's go ahead now. Let's take a look at the articulation again. The Sci-Fi Revoltech figures, they are super articulated. Like I said, they're kind of they predate the SH Monster Arts line. They were almost like the prototype SH Monster Arts, if you will. So a lot of people have kind of stated that. So we'll start here. The jaw is on a hinge, so you guys can see. So you can open it quite wide. And that's actually kind of a movie accurate thing with the way that the jaw is slanted like that. So so that's how it really should be with Anguirus. And then of course it can close pretty much all the way. So it just depends on how you like to have it positioned. You got the head here, which you can hear that click. That's on the Revoltech joint. So the head and where it meets the neck there. And you can turn it. You can go all the way around. And like I said, you can look down and up, and you hear the click from the Revoltech ratchet joint. And then of course you got another Revoltech joint at the base of the neck where it joins into the shoulders here, just to help give even further range of movement. You can look up quite a bit when you use both joints together like that. Very, very awesome. And of course you got Revoltech joints here. You can even see them there. So the shoulders there come out like that, in. Again, you can hear that click, so you can move them back and forth like that. Obviously, the sculpt of the figure itself is going to kind of prevent it from, really going all the way around. But you can certainly get a nice range of movement to get some different poses. And of course, you got the Revoltech joint here at the elbows, so you can move that as well. And a slight bit of swivel. It's just the design of the Revoltech joints kind of hinder some of that motion. What you have to actually do is you'd have to actually pop them off and reposition them in when you pop them back in to get it to move another way. So a lot of people have kind of denoted that. And then, of course, you got another Revoltech joint there at the foot. So, and it's pretty much the same here for the back feet. Revoltech joints, or the back feet join into the body at the sort of waist area there. So not too much movement out and in, but you can get a little bit forward and back, and more so because of the way that the sculpt is there. You guys can kind of see. So so you're going to kind of, the motion that you're going to kind of get, I mean, like I said, you could probably reposition the Revoltech joint, but otherwise you're going to kind of more so get like a swiveling motion like that at both feet. And then you got the Revoltech joint here at the knees, on the hind legs here. Nice range of motion there. You can hear the nice clicks. I love those clicks. They're so cool. And then, of course, the Revoltech joint. The back feet there. Very, very awesome. So, and you can always obviously reposition him to be in like a standing pose, if you will, but I like my Anguirus on all fours because that's, to me, the traditional design for this boy. And then, of course, here you get the base of the tail. You get another a larger Revoltech joint, and the tail actually in the box comes separated from the main body of Anguirus itself, and then the Revoltech joint is actually that plugs into the tail is separated from that. So that's why they give you a couple extra slots in the box for those. So you plug the Revoltech joint in the body and in the tail, and then he's whole and ready to go. And so the tail, so kind of some swinging motion there, because again, the way that the Revoltech joint is displayed, but you can get it. Click up and click down. Very, very cool. And I actually forgot to mention there is a waist joint here as well, a Revoltech joint. So you guys can see that to help with the range of motion. Very, very awesome. And in the tail itself, there is a bendy wire, and they actually show that on the back of the box, that you can turn the tail with the bendy wire to get some different poses. As any of you who follow along with my videos know, I don't like to mess with bendy wires, so I'm not going to bother with that, but just so that you know that it is there. So very, very awesome. So again, a lot of points of articulation, but that's what these Revoltech figures are known for. Like I said, they're sort of the precursor to the SH Monster Arts line. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a look at the accessories that Anguirus comes with. So I'm going to start with these two things first. So as standard with all your Revoltech figures, you get the Revoltech coin, which I guess is worth 10 points to use for whatever, probably towards future purchases. And you get this little translucent orange box. So you get the orange coin, you get a translucent orange box. Of course, you can put the coin in there as well as some of the other smaller accessories that'll fit in here. So if you wanted to have that kind of display, so you got that. Pretty cool. Nothing too major there. So you guys can see that. Put that to the side. And next up, let's go ahead and take a look at this sucker right here, the nameplate for Anguirus. So the Japanese lettering, which I believe says Anguirus, and then Destroy All Monsters, 1968. I believe would be the correct labeling, but again, unfortunately, I don't read Japanese, so I'm not 100% sure. But you guys can definitely see that there if the camera will focus in for us. So pretty cool. And set that down. And now take a look at the other accessories that this comes with here. So very, very cool. You get a mini Moonlight SY-3, which was the spaceship used in the film by the Earth Defense Forces there. Very, very cool. They had the base on the moon, of course, and Captain Yamabe and his crew piloted the Moonlight SY-3. Really an awesome ship. One of my personal favorites of all the Toho vehicles. Sorry about that, folks. So very, very cool, and it's really, it's detailed pretty well, even though it's a mini figure. I mean, it's got the design pretty much down pat. You got all the silvers and the reds and the blacks. Even a little bit of blue here towards the cockpit area. At the black tip nose, and of course the black tips there for like the missile area there, the missile bay. And of course some of that black shading there on for like where the boosters and thrusters are there. Very, very cool. And again, just a nice little quick look-see. Of course, you got the black lettering there for the SY-3. Let me see if I can capture that for you guys. Let's see here. I do apologize here. I'm trying. Let's see. I really wanted to try and show that to you guys there. It's difficult to try to get it to showcase, but that is a cool little touch though. So you do got the SY3 logoing right there. And set that down just for a moment, and then of course you get this little smokestack here, which you can see this peg at the top here, this little clear translucent peg, and it pegs into the bottom of the SY3 so that you can have it like in a takeoff sort of pose if you want to have it next to Anguirus or however you want to have that displayed. So you got some nice sort of like milky gray color almost there at the bottom. And then it sort of transitions and you got some different color schemes here. A bit more of you got some oranges and some other off gray there. And this nice little orange here, and almost this sort of tinted blue color at the top. Very, very cool. Though. Nice little smokestack there. And like I said, so you see you got the peg here. It's like a almost like a T, and just slot it into place just like so. And you can have it set it up shop right next to good old Anguirus there. Very, very cool. And like I said, even just in general, that's just a cool little display piece to have, in my opinion. So really, really like that. So that takes care of the accessories. Let's go ahead and take a look at sizing here for Anguirus. So first I got my ruler. Let's actually take a measure from him. So basically from his height here. So let's see if you guys can pick that up there. So he stands basically up to the top of his back area here. He stands roughly in the 3-inch height range. But again, he's a 4-legged kaiju, a quadrupedal kaiju. So obviously he's not going to be as tall. But lengthwise, though, I think pretty much in line. So we'll take a look at the length of him here. So measuring from basically his tip of the nostril and the claws to the end of his tail. You guys can see, and it's, let's see here, about up to there. So roughly about 9 inches long. And obviously you can just kind of see whatever it equates to in centimeters if that's how you prefer. But yeah, very, very cool. So obviously, again, a little smaller, but to me, he honestly does size in very, very well with 6 to 7 inch figures that you might have. I have him proudly displayed on my shelf, and I think he looks great with my other figures in my collection. And just to do a little bit of a size comparison here, I brought out his one of his adversaries from the 1972 film, Godzilla vs. Gigan, here with the 72 Gigan. So you guys can take a little look, see at the size comparison there. And again, I think that's pretty good. I mean, it may not be 100% spot on, but I think that looks really, really good. Honestly, that sizing, not perfect, but good, absolutely. So just so you guys can see how that looks. Okay. So other than that, as far as pricing goes, now that's the thing. Again, these Revoltech figures, the kaiju figures that they produced, they did so, like around 2010-ish era, I should say, around that time frame. So they're all older figures, and they discontinued this particular line, with the kaiju figures here. Like I said, they predate Monster Arts, which actually started in 2011. So the thing is, they're all kind of rare now and kind of costly. Some are more than others because it just depends on availability. But for Anguirus here, I've seen him roughly go for around 200 and up nowadays. I mean, there's even been points in time where he's gone for more, for like double that price. But yeah, so just kind of keep that in mind. So around $200 and up is what I've been seeing him sort of go for. Probably like places like eBay and whatnot would be your best bet to look to try to pick up Anguirus or any of these Revoltech figures. So you do have to keep that in mind, and just keep in mind, like, the MSRP initially when these came out were around $40 to $50. So again, their value has gone through the roof. But if you are in the market and you're willing to pay to play, I very, very highly recommend Anguirus here, because I think he's an absolutely fantastic figure. I would pretty much put him up against any Monster Arts figure. I think he's really right up there in my opinion. But other than that, that pretty much covers it here. So just kind of put his nameplate there, like that, and we'll even just throw in the coin in the box as well. So there you go, folks. Nice little display for you guys. Other than that, though, that pretty much covers it for this video. I would definitely like to thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.